set up. This. Ooh, yeah. Dusty. This is why the shop needs to be organized. Go. Start cleaning up the shop. About your new treadle hammer. Yes. Yes, indeed. I mated one. I made a treadle hammer. There are videos coming out on this soon. Well, soon meaning August is when they're scheduled. But on TikTok I have some videos up that are shorter videos. But yes, new treadle hammer. I made this sucker. Cast iron anvil that I cut and welded a steel faceplate into. Made everything myself except for the hammer and the anvil. I did modify the anvil, like I said. Faceplate goes about to here. Made out of some skid steer bucket blade, some heavy duty stuff. Got a nice little pedal under here, and it's a beastly thing. And works great. Working on still modifying some features, but I built everything on it. Thanks. Yeah, I'll have to show you here in a sec a little more detailed on it. Let me just take my camera off the stand real quick. There we go. So here is our pedal. It's got a foot catch right here. And basically what that's going to do for me is when I lift up my foot, it helps the hammer lift up, so it's not just under the pressure of the spring to lift it up. It makes it even faster. This is my bracket system I created. It's got guide bars here so it can't come out of these holes, and then this can free rotate back and forth so the pedal can actuate this way but not side to side. It doesn't have any jiggle or anything like that. Box is welded to the floor. These supports here on these corners are screwed into the two pieces of wood that go up to here and are welded to the legs. Anvil's welded in place. Got my vise welded in place finally because it needed it. But yeah, this is the hammer right here. So we've got our Cobra, and it's our safety snake. Got a little Cobra there, and basically you pull back on him and lift up the shepherd's hook, and that hangs on the side here by the grenade. You can see it's got like some nice dimpling and bent stuff to it. Smart. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just picked up a 3-pound sledge and made it into a great rounding hammer. Did the same thing. Rounding face and then diagonal peen, so that way I don't have to angle so much when I want to get on it with the peen side of things. They make great forging hammers if you do a good handle to it. Yeah, as we can see, we've got a spicy pineapple decoration just for shits and giggles. Let me see if I can get you guys to see these. I did do some like forge work on this. Made a little cross right there and nice little flower motif right there that runs down the side of it. These are support brackets that keep it from rattling because it's just welded on right here in some shelving that I did. So I cut these corners, bent them out, and welded it. I'm gonna warn you, cast iron welds like crap. Yeah, it does. It does. I already had that issue. You can kind of see some voids, but it's held up to what I've tested with it, and it's hammered great. So the plate is in there good, and the anvil was pretty hot when I welded it, so that helped. But I got a full bond weld across most of it, but there are some, slight imperfections, but it's not going to affect the hammer too much, just because this is a heavy-duty use case kind of critter, and if I need to, I can always regrind or recut that section back out and weld a new plate in there if I need to. Eventually I'm going to cut this anvil off and replace it with a shorter steel anvil of my own design. This is just a placeholder because I've had this anvil since I started forging. If you go back to my really old videos on the channel, you'll actually see that videos of me forging with that old cast iron piece of crap. Wire fed gasless. Just that little Century right there, that FC90. Just flux core wire. Worked well enough. Just about got. I just had to kind of tune my wire speed and my amperage correctly, and it worked great. I took it real slow, slow and high heat, so that way I wasn't spattering everywhere as much when I was welding with it. But yeah, we got the snake welded on here. We got the spring box, which consists of this guy. That's not cracked. It's just the paint went into a lip when I was rounding this, because this was from a failed project many, many years ago when I first started. So I figured take some chunks of that, weld that in there. I have my spring that runs through here. It's just an old trampoline spring. And then this wire right here is just twisted, doubled up, twisted, and then twisted again to make 4-strand thick wire. That's the lifting mechanism. This is the pull downs that are attached to the treadle down here. And these pull downs are what, the treadle pulls the hammer down on. It's got a metal bracket that runs the length of the treadle. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the device. It's just got a pin that runs through the handle of the hammer that's welded in there. And yeah, it actuates great. It stays locked and trapped great. These were some pieces of railroad spike for extra supports that I did. That's the rest of those railroad spikes just for shits and giggles, and for a place for me to rest my heel when I don't want to run the hammer. So if I want to back off, I can just kind of rest my foot on that, or do lighter taps basically. Spicy pineapple, yes indeed. Flux core or Handyman's Meg. Flux core, wire fed. So just a basic little guy. It's just flux core wire, but it worked, at least well enough for my intentions. But I figured I'd do a little teaser before the videos on building this sucker come out and show it off in the live stream while I clean the shop, because I've been swinging this 12-pound hammer here by hand for the last year, and I figured it's about time I built a machine that does it for me. The spicy pineapple is decommissioned, so it's not really that spicy anymore. It's a salty pineapple. It's salty because it never got to get spicy. Plug this in. But yeah, I'm just going to be doing some cleaning and reorganization in the shop. I don't know if you can tell, but that is a new table. So I have to reorient some things. This is also a new box. That's an old 105 howitzer tank ammunition box that I'm going to be using for a storage box. Ah, okay. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, my experience, big sad for the pineapple. I know. All I wanted in life was to go pop, and it was never allowed to. But yeah, I've got a lot of cleanup and organization to do. If you're new to my streams, hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Zach Hooker. Hooker's Blades is my bladesmithing channel. It's where I show how I make all the stuff that I sell. If you're not new, like good old JIJ Fish and Forge here, Forge and Fish, excuse me, I appreciate you being here. It's always glad to see guys like you. It's always good to talk with you guys. Everybody knows, feel free to comment, feel free to chit-chat, bullshit, ask questions. I'm here for it. So I'm going to be back and forth cleaning the shop and responding to comments. Just here to chit-chat and, talk you guys' ear off a little bit. I'm going to be reorganizing a lot in the shop, so I might not get it all done on stream. Depends on how long my phone decides to cooperate with me this time, because sometimes it doesn't like streams that well. So first things first is just basic cleanup. Stuff that already has a home, that's not moving, needs to go where it belongs. Welding mask. Some solder, a loose bundle of wire. Exactly. Exactly. Those damn hole punchers, man. They get all the fame. It's like swords in the medieval period. The poor spear felt so left out because it was the true king of weapons. The spear was used way more than the sword, but everybody remembers the sword. No love for the spear. Same thing with the sad pineapple. Everybody loves the Bluetooth hole punchers. Nobody appreciates the sad pineapple. But yeah, this box is an old 105 howitzer tank shell box. It was the high explosive ones, so I figured that'd be cool to have in the shop. So true. Yep. There's always a fan favorite, and the other ones get forgotten. No matter what crowd it is. I do too. I love the pineapple and I love the spears too. The spear that I made is still really fun. Get a lot of use out of it. Yeah, it gets hellaciously hot here in Utah, so I'm trying to get the shop optimized and cleaned as best as I can before hot season hits me and just make my life easier, basically. Spear back here a little more. Pry bar. I have an MK2. That's cool. Yeah, this is just the old school. I don't even know if it's the M1 or what it is. I just know it's a grenade. Old spicy pineapple frag. Some old rusted projects. You know you're a bladesmith when there's so many knives everywhere that you forget that they existed. Like this little karambit guy that was out rusting, and then this little hunter that was out rusting that I had that I forgot I even left out. That I just have so many blades everywhere that, I mean, I guess it's a poison damage because it's got tetanus on its side, right? And I gotta tear the handles off these and clean them up, and yeah. Backup wire brush. Pine and oak woodworks. Hey, what's up, man? What you got going on? You're new. Right now I'm just kind of cleaning the shop. I was telling my buddy JIJ over here about the new treadle hammer I just built. Shaboom. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's the new treadle hammer right there. Built everything except for the anvil and the hammerhead, and modified the anvil. But right now I'm just doing shop maintenance, getting everything ready before it gets to hot season here in Utah. That way I am ready for the new season and I am not sweating my ass off trying to find all of the things. Nice to meet you, Pine and Oak Woodworks. I'm judging by the name that you work with aluminum. Just kidding, I know you're a woodworker. He didn't build the steel, right? Nah, dude. I wish I could make my own steel. I really do. There's a blacksmithing school around southern Utah, and there's a blacksmithing school around southern Utah that does all kinds of smelts, iron smelts and steel smelts and stuff. They make woods and all kinds of other stuff. And I'm hoping next year when they do their big smelt that I can get down there. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate the sub. Thank you, Pine and Oak. Ooh, yeah, wrought iron is nice. Wrought iron's pretty. There's not enough of it anymore. I do have a little piece somewhere kicking around the shop that is eventually going to get turned into a tomahawk. It's going to have a wrought iron body and a high carbon blade. Then I'm going to acid etch it so the wrought iron pattern pops. pieces of steel. Gotta get everything back in its home. When you have enough shit to where you lose your shit amongst your other shit, you then know that you still need to get more shit from yard sales. Because you can never have enough shit as a man. Very strong ferric etch. Yeah, I have ferric chloride. Okay, 1 to 4 ferric to water. Okay, that should be strong enough. Because I don't have much experience with acid etching. I usually gun blue my stuff. I don't really acid etch that often just because I don't make Damascus. Or I haven't made Damascus yet, I should say. That's another thing that the treadle hammer is in existence for. So hopefully soon I can start making some pattern steel, which would be really cool. Evening. How's it going, AT? Good to see you back, man. Good to see you. A lot of Smiths do 1 and 8 or more. Okay. Is that for Damascus and other pattern welds, or is that specifically for wrought? Stronger etch you make, the wrought etch away slightly and it leaves the grain. Ooh, yeah. See, that's what I'm looking for. Is that exposed grain look with that nice tight look of the modern high carbon bit that I'm going to use, because I'm just going to use some leaf spring or coil spring for the blade itself. So that should work out beautifully. Okay, pattern weld, cool. That's good to know. Thanks, JIJ. I appreciate that. Rags. I have that hanging right there, I think. There we go. That can go there. This can go in the trash. I don't even know why I got that. How's everybody been doing? Having a good day? Getting ready for Mother's Day? Like, got any plans? Got anything exciting going on? Anything like that? Family's coming over for lunch tomorrow. Cool, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be, in the morning I'm gonna be doing stuff with my wife's family, and then in the evening I'm gonna be doing stuff with my family. Same? Alright, yeah. It's always good to get the family together for a cookout. It's always a good time. Is it warm enough where everybody's at the barbecue yet, or are we not quite there yet for everybody? That one's busted. That one's good. 85. 85 what? I'm so confused. 85. 85. 85 alive, something like that? Degrees. Oh. Okay, yeah, 85 is nice. Like for Utah, that ain't bad. $85 bodies, that would be a lot. We've been in the 70s this week, today a little cooler. Okay, yeah, we've been around mid-70s or so where I'm at. Still trying to figure out where to put this little baby anvil that I have. Had it for a long time, but now that I built the treadle hammer, it's not got room where it used to be. We're probably around the same latitude. Yeah, I would say so. Probably around that same range. That makes a lot of sense. All this failed twist wire. Put the baby anvil on a 3-leg stand. That would be adorable. If I had space for it, I would totally do that. But space is a commodity I have not much of. This little shop is not the biggest thing in the world, unfortunately. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell to put my fan. I can put it back here. It'll be out of the way enough. Northeast California. Give it a good wire wheeling and heavy duty 40 wash. There you go. That could be pretty funny. Yeah, I'd want to knock off the paint that's on there for sure, because it's this ugly gray paint that's like half chipped, half ripped, if that makes sense. Wheel stelter, yeah. That could be a fun one. Be a huge pain to stub your toe on something like that, though. I mean, it's a little 10-pounder. I'd hate to stub my toe on it. This one's actually cast steel, so it's a little better than that cast iron one I had. just put it under there for now, I guess. Until I figure out what the hell I'm going to do with it. Jeweler's Anvil. Yep, exactly. Looks bigger than 15 from Harbor Freight. Yeah, it might be. It might be. I was just judging off weight in my hand, but then again, I'm not the best judge of weight in my hand because that doesn't really feel like much, if you know what I mean. And I'm not the best at gauging by holding it how much it weighs. I realize I just made that motion. That can be turned into memes. That's a problem. But I don't have enough people watching to be making memes of me yet, so that's good. Had some of my best buddies make a meme out of me in text before. One of the goofiest experiences I've ever had, that's for sure. Use it for one that screen. Yeah. Yeah, that'll definitely hold it. But yeah, we're going to do a basic clean first, then we're going to get into the tools and all the other stuff that I need to reorganize. I went yard sailing today with my nieces. Got that ammo box, got a tin box, got some other stuff for future projects on the channel. I am going to be making a scythe soon, hint hint, so that'll be fun. It's going to be a war scythe instead of a gardening scythe, because I've always wanted a war scythe. It just seems like a good time. And I've had a couple people request on my comments of some of my shorts that I make a scythe. So I think I'm going to make an actual war scythe, and I'll show you what that'll be made out of later when I get around to it. Do I want Lanzy Forge? No, I doesn't sound familiar. There's a lot of us blacksmiths out in the YouTube. Ian. Oh, Ian Z Forge. No, I haven't. I'll have to check them out. I always like watching other guys. Helps me get ideas of stuff to try that I haven't tried yet. Projects that I haven't considered from certain angles. I'll definitely check them out. Ian Z Forge. Ah, like in the forge, but Ian Z Forge. If he hasn't taken advantage of that yet, he really should. Ian Z Forge. That's catchy. Oh, he's a Forged in Fire champion. Okay, cool. That's always good. Yeah, there's a couple of them that I've had the opportunity to meet. They're usually pretty cool guys. All of us blacksmiths are weird in our own way. Oh, Ian Zimmerman. Okay, yeah, I think I've heard the name. I used to watch Forged in Fire quite a bit. The name sounds familiar. got a lot of the basic stuff on this side done. Now we can start working on the basic stuff on this other side. I'll flip you guys around here in a sec. Then we can come back and do the more complex cleaning and organization here in a moment. Get you guys moved over real quick. It's going to get dark real fast, and then it's going to get a little brighter. Just got to move the power cord for my light, so that way that this will hang where I want it to. There we go. See, I told you guys it was going to get bright. Big katana. Was it the... Oh, what the hell's the name of it? The one Sephiroth has. The Masamune kind of sword, or whatever. The hyper big katana. Did the handle on this forever ago. I don't know if I made a video on it or not, but it's like a Rubik's Cube twist handle for my wire brush. Nice and comfortable, especially with gloves on. It gives you good grip. Yeah, that. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I got a pair of nippers, hoof nippers, that are long enough to make into a pair of tongs, so I'm going to make some tongs out of those here shortly too. That'll be a quick, easy little project, because you can never have too many pairs of tongs. All you other blacksmiths and farriers out there know that. One can never have too many tongs. Just like one can never have too many hammers. Or one can never have too many of any type of tool. Because tools make the world go around, my friend. Dropping shit all over the place today. The difference between a new pair of gloves and a used pair of gloves. One's a little more used. The only time you have too many tools is when you can't take care of them. Yep, exactly. And even then, is it really too many? You might need another tool to fix that one you can't take care of. Ever think about that? New oil can? Break loose those old stuck tools? Good old poor man's swage block right there. If you don't have something for making bowling and dishing, rotors, old car rotors. Best part is it comes with two sizes ready to use. Real big, not so big. And if you're feeling really brave, you can even use the small ones for really small dishing work. Learned that from a good friend of mine, Kurt. He was like, if you don't have a dishing tool, you know you can use the car rotor for it. And I was like, oh. That's smart. And like, that's smart with an S-M-A-R-T, not an S-M-R-T. That's smart, not smirt. nice little throwback. I don't know if any of you guys saw this video, but we made a big-ass crossbow out of some old saw blades and a trampoline spring. So we got a trampoline spring that attaches to the end of our saw blade limbs to give it some extra oomph. Used an old reciprocating latch for a trigger mechanism, just ground the pin down on it to hold the string back. Some guide bars that you can use as sights, and just a piece of pressure treated wood to make the stock. It's a pretty fun little project. Lobs these big suckers pretty good. There's a couple videos on my YouTube channel of me showing how I built this thing. The different phases of research and development, I guess you could say, for it. It's a fun little one. Because who shouldn't have a crossbow? Everybody should have a crossbow. Perhaps even two of them. This one's a little more compact. Fires the same bolts, but this is the PVC limbed crossbow that I made. Got some videos on this guy as well. I always love when cleaning the shop turns into something where I can show off some of the old projects that I've done. Ones that people probably missed on the channel before they saw my channel. Like I did a restoration on this guy, did a restoration on this guy. This guy was really bent and busted out of shape, and I got it all cleaned up and fixed. And I gotta love my sword, especially because I've got my little dagger. So I've got sword and dagger. You know, they're paired well in terms of size and weight and everything. To where I've got my parrying dagger, and I've got my nice needle blade that I made. Didn't make the parrying dagger. I've had the parrying dagger for a while. Made this guy though. It's my little set. And yes, both of them are very sharp. This is actually the one that the videos that I've been making is on. The videos that have been uploading recently, I should say. So when I schedule out my videos ahead of time, and this beautiful blade is the one that I made the most recent few videos on, was this crazy sword. Super lightweight too, just under 2 pounds for that length. So it's beautiful. It's my baby. One of many. The testing video on that one should drop tomorrow if I'm not mistaken. Where we're cutting stuff with it and whatnot. Get all my vice grips hanging up together. Get all my pliers hanging up together. My needle nosers can go there. My little nippers can go there. My wood stump can go there. Another pair of scissors. Put those behind the nippers. Maybe back you guys up a titch so we can get a better shot of the shop. for those that haven't seen it very often, or very much at all. Maybe something like that'll do you. That way you can kind of see the treadle hammer and get a little sneak of the anvil there too. Better angle. A little Tonto friend. This isn't real. Just for YouTube guidelines, it's not a real one. The real ones are inside. This is a CO2 one. It uses CO2 cartridges. Not a real thing. Guidelines don't flag my video for stuff and things. The real ones are inside where they belong. The toys are outside. There's the box. That's my pest control toy. Now I can start some organization. So let's get this camera angle right there. One sec. Give me one quick second. The stream's gonna... Okay, and we are back. Sorry, I just had to check something. So I just picked up this box. Not everything in it, but I just got this box today. Also out yard selling. Just a nice big tin box. And somebody drop a comment. I don't see any comments. It looks like it wiped it. Let me see if I can still see what you guys are saying. I should be able to see chat. Oh, yep, there we go. Tiny Bluetooth hole punchers. Oh shit, I missed a few. Everyone should have a crossbow or two. Zach Hooker 2025. I love the rapier longsword hybrid. Yes, it is my baby. I'm going to head out. Oh, you have a blessed night. I hope I didn't miss you when I did that. It was good to have you in JIJ. Always good to talk to you, man. And tiny Bluetooth hole punchers. Yes. Gotta love those Bluetooth hole punchers. But yeah, the plan for this is get all the chisels and punches moved over into it. That way they are out of the way and easier to access. Probably going to get most of the hardy tools in there as well. So that's going to be a thing. Get that organized first, then we can organize the scrap bucket. Give me one moment. I just got to go check on something. Alrighty. Okay. Back again. Now if I can just figure out how I want to do these dividers. First I need to get all the tools out that are going to go into it. this guy because it's broken loose. It doesn't even look like it was welded on properly when the guy I bought it from got it to me. But I need to fix that back up. So that might be a video later. Get all these punches put back in here where they belong. My box kind of spilled. So, yard sales are dangerous places. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I got this. I got that 105 howitzer shell box. I got some hammers, a pry bar, a handsaw, a couple other things today. Some are going to be for projects. Others are just tools that I liked that I wanted. Storage devices to make the shop a little more efficient. I just need to come up with a method of doing some dividers for this box. No, I'd have to cut that down, and I want to keep the lid as is. How are we going to go about this? We got these, we got all those chisels and punches. Let's see here. Maybe. Oh, please, tell me you are just long enough. Oh yeah. And then what about if we... Yep, that's exactly what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do. Quick modifications to this little box. That's what we're going to do. Some people may say 3-inch screws are overkill. I say, is there any such thing? As I understand it, overkill just means it's stronger. And stronger means better. That is assuming I can drill like to save my ass today. Okay, we're going to secure this so it doesn't keep slipping around. There we go. Or am I going to drill this out and use regular screws? I don't know where I put all the rest of my screws. Can we just bite through this tin with these? I'm hoping so. Screw it. Let's just drill through it. Tell me I got that sucker stuck in there. There we go. I've got a divider in there. Could torch it, yeah. Could definitely torch it. But I don't have a torch. But I made it through, just drilled through it, and then got that screwed in there for some dividers. So the way this is going to work is chisels, punches, longer ones. It's the easiest way I can put it. Axe eye drift, longer one. Let's get camera angle adjusted here. Just go through these real quick. And you guys can actually see some of what the hell I'm doing. Big ass diamond punch that I'm going to cut and shrink down eventually. Bigger one. Another axe eye drift. Bigger one. BACs, big ass chisels. Bigger one. Round drift. Curved chisel. Bigger chisel. Bigger ones. And all other variety of big ass chisels and punches. Bigger ones. Now we can start to go with the smaller ones. Chisels, punches, drifts, punches, punches, chisels, punches, chisels, punch, punch, square punch, 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 chisel, punch, 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 eyeball punch, 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 chisel, punch, diamond eye punch, punch. Bam. Now that's organized. And we can put our letter name punches just up here, I guess, for now, until we come up with a better game plan for those. That's nice, having those organized like that will make this a lot easier moving forward. So, as you can see, we've got them organized now. That's going to help a lot. Put this square punch in with the rest of these buddies. Cool. Now we can move on to the most chaotic part of today, which is going to be organizing my scrap pile. Big chunks like this old suspension piece will go to the side, obviously, to be dealt with at a later time. For now, we're just working on the smaller stuff. YouTube is not giving me the best lighting right now. That's for damn sure. Maybe if we... Maybe that'll work. Adjust the lighting, maybe. Because I don't have a light in this side of the shop. Yeah, the never-ending struggle of organizing the scrap pile. like piece of concrete corner. Rescue my wood clamps from the scrap pile because they don't belong there, they belong here. Bunch of hammers that will eventually get turned into things. These are all ones I picked up for like $2 or $3 at yard sales. Just dudes getting rid of them because they have an excess amount of a bunch of hammers. These are going to be a pair of tongs because some of the easiest tongs you could ever make. You get these old nippers, flatten these out, turn them into whatever shape you need. This is what will eventually become our scythe. We're going to make a war scythe out of this old saw blade. It's thick enough, yet flexible enough, where I could make a nice little war scythe out of this without too much going into it. Just make a socket for it, reshape the blade a little bit, and we're solid. Those are nail cutters. Yeah, they make great tongs. They look a lot like hoof nippers. Bunch of thinner round bar. Bunch of thinner round bar. Bend these better. I'm gonna straighten them out a little bit. That's better. Wondering what that sound is, it's a bunch of these. I have a ridiculous amount of coil springs because they are one of my favorite materials to make things out of. Luckily, I reorganized this not too terribly long ago, so everything's kind of close to in its place. Just got the new table and kind of blew the shop up in some chaos in the midst of making the treadle hammer. It takes a lot of tools and a lot of time and a lot of expended energy making something like that from scratch. That's for damn sure. Worth it? Yes. Huge pain in the ass? Also yes. Yeah, I have a smaller pair, a really small pair of them, which I'm pretty sure are nippers, because they say nips on the side, but they could also be nail nips, but they're smaller, so they don't have as much leverage, which would definitely make it harder to cut nails, so I'm thinking they're probably hoof cutters. But those ones are more than likely, like you say, nail cutters. But either way, make a great pair of tongs real easy. So yeah, this was a trailer hook. Many years ago, I pounded this out and said I was going to make an axe out of it, and never ended up finishing it. This is going to be something I'm going to make in the near future too. This is going to be a project that I finish in the near future, because I was doing this on the cast iron anvil, and moving this steel is pretty tough. And I was not the best at moving steel when I started this project, so I'm gonna go back and revisit this and make it into a really cool, like, Fallout Raider style axe. I've got a lot of projects in the works, in the head, and making the treadle hammer was a big part of it, because I'm going to make a lot of tooling for the treadle hammer soon. So that way I can do a lot more various stuff with it, get different shapes with it. Because right now it's not capable of making a big variety of shapes. That's a lot of scrap pieces. A lot of smaller bits of scrap. Either failed projects or cut-offs. All kinds of stuff. Always too many. Yup. Always. There's always way more that you want to get done in your head than you have time to get done in the real world, especially working a job and doing this. One of these days this will be my full-time gig. One of these days. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Probably what all of us keep telling ourselves that do this. But we do it out of love. I'm gonna make more fishing hooks here soon too. I'm gonna be doing some fishing, probably some fishing videos with the hooks that I made. I already did one at Strawberry Reservoir where I caught a cutthroat trout on a hook that I made, but I've been wanting to do some other sizes of hooks. But one thing I'm doing that's going to kind of help me, I don't know if it would help any of you guys, but one of my buckets is going to become a dedicated to-do list bucket. Basically, when I want to do something really bad out here in the shop, and I get that blacksmith version of writer's block, where it's like, I know I want to do something, but I have so many projects to pick between, I don't know what to do. I'm going to go over in that bucket, and I'm going to grab something at random. I'm not going to look, I'm just going to fucking grab one of them. And whatever that object is, that's the project I'm starting. That way, I spend less time puttering around going, I've got 6 projects to do, but I don't know which one to start first. Well, I'll just leave that up to random chance and we'll go from there. I wound up having to move and couldn't take... Oh! That is heartbreaking. That is painful. That is incredibly painful. Yeah, see, I had pretty much my whole week free when I was caretaking for my dad after his transplant. But now I'm back to working, and in the past 2 weeks, I've got 102 hours because I'm doing construction, excavation, landscaping, all kinds of stuff. So I've got a ton of work on my plate right now. So I get you there. I've been working on this treadle hammer a couple hours at a time, cutting stuff, welding stuff, testing things, all that whole time. Let's see, what next? Because I want to reorganize this better than this. Let's see if I can change angles on you guys. Get you guys a better view of what I'm looking at. So this is what I'm looking at, is all this. So I'm going to reorganize some of this stuff. Because I've got a lot. Grab that scraps bucket. It's behind you guys. So we're just going to put some scrap in here. Grab all the rebar out and have rebar in one spot, random scrap in another. Give me just a sec. I'm going to go blow my nose real quick. Much better. Okay. Now we gotta pull this big guy out. All kinds of unfinished projects in here. I did recently get a hold of an old welder's scrap organizer, and I will inevitably have to organize it. You'd think something called an organizer would keep things organized itself for you, you know? But that is just not the case. random scrapping another. Piece of forklift tine. Unfinished project. Rebar, 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 rebar. So much rebar. That's random crap. And once this is all organized, this will make things so much easier for me. That's one more stage down. There's all the rebar and all the random scrap so far. Save that hammer. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I got this one at the yard sales today. Little 4-pound. This is a little 4-pound. No, 3-pound. 3.5-pound cross peen that I'm gonna fix up. But yeah, get a couple of decent little hammers going out of these. Like I said, too many monkeys, not enough circus, right? rebar bucket here in case we find any more. Now we can move stuff over more. Put all my wires, my real thin stock, in the random scrap bucket. That's a tool that goes over here because we're using those as tools. This is not scrap. This is a friend. We can put our friend over here for now. I got about 10 hammerheads floating around that need handles. I've probably got 4 or 5 myself. All these random hammers that I showed are going to be different project pieces for like war hammers and whatnot. Oh, that was fun. That didn't scratch me. Rebar. Random scrap. Random scrap. We can put that in there too, so it has a place to live. Some of my other bows. Now most of this is coil spring. However, some of it is not. So that's going to get looked at shortly. That's cast. Eventually I'll find use for it. Saw blades can go back here behind random scrap. Oh, I knew I had some more of this bed frame rail. There it is. Busted piece of marrow. Jack bits can go there. You can go there. Another big ass coil spring. Is this the broken one or is this the functional one? Oh, that's the functional one. We want to keep that guy around. But that's somehow we can bust it out. So much for that. Gonna have a lot of trash to deal with tomorrow. all kinds of little cutoffs and whatnot. That broom, I just had it. Come on, Zach. I misplaced some shit now. Ah, right in front of my eyes. If it were a snake, it would have bit me, people. So much scrap metal in here. Does feel nice to finally get the place organized, though. But I do find that like these shop organization and shop cleaning streams are just good for generally updating you guys on stuff that's coming, stuff that you may have missed, kind of chit-chatting with people that watch my content, and getting to know my audience, getting to know you guys. Talking shop, talking about future projects, getting some tips from guys about stuff that I haven't experienced yet that they can help with, that they can do. It's always a good time. Just making sure I didn't miss any comments. Sorry for that creepy stare, guys. That's why I watch. Ah, see? So it does do some good for some of you guys. That makes me happy. Okay, my genius ass lost the dustpan. It was just attached to the broom before I started sweeping. And I know it's somewhere obvious because I always do that to myself. You ever feel like the more organized you get, the more disorganized you get? Because at least when it's chaotic, you remember somewhere where it used to be. Then you organize it and you're like, where the hell did I put that just now? It's like the Where's Waldo of frickin' dustpans out here. Again, someplace plainly obvious. Rebar bucket can go there. Yep. This can scoot over a little bit to make room for rebar bucket. Maybe. If it wants to cooperate because it's got like 80 pounds of steel on it. There we go.
coil springs behind here. That's not even all of them. I'm going to have to fish some out from behind the canopy over here someday. Every time. Yep. Every single freaking time. But let's scoot you back. Much less chaotic than it was before. Much more organized. And look at that, guys. I have floor space again. Alright. Now we can come out of the darkness and into the light. Okay, let me just see something. Let's get this unplugged for a second. See if I can switch you guys around. So, this entire thing is filled with random scraps of material. I need to burn off the fibers on that. That was from when that was the bolt arm. It's blinding. Ah, sorry. Didn't mean to cause vampires eye damage. But yeah, this is all random scraps of stuff and longer pieces too. I got more longer, thicker guys hiding back there. Bunches of big pieces of stock. Got about 6 or 7 coil springs there. A bunch that I pre-chopped over here. All this is railroad steel, spikes, springs, things like that. Old piece of suspension. This is an ammo bucket full of old shell casings, and that's all bits of rebar. Yeah, so we got that all organized. And then this is the project bucket. Stuff in here needs done, and I already have an idea of what all of this is going to become. Like, this is going to be the scythe. We're going to use one of those long guys over there to make the handle for it. Probably not the super long one. That'll probably be 2 handles. This shorter guy will be good for a little war scythe. Get you guys put back in place here. Whew. Making progress bit by bit, though, people. Making progress bit by bit. The next thing's going to be reorganizing the tool wall. I know, exciting, right? We'll start with tongs and stuff, I guess. It's not too bad out of shape, but I just want to reorganize where all my different types of tongs are. So that way they're easier to work, because they get all bent out of shape and disorganized. All kinds of disorganized. Safety gear goes there. Hat's good. You can go over there. Okay, let me just check something real quick. Stream's gonna drop for a second. It'll be back in like 5 seconds tops total. And we're back. We're back like Jack Black in the sack. I don't know. So, ball peens with the ball peens with the ball peens. This guy, no. You with you. No, you go there. You can go there. I'll take you and swap. See what I mean about unfinished projects? I got this little adventure style blacksmith knife that I started and never finished. Just forged it out one day out of a rasp and never ended up finishing it. It goes in the project box, or bucket. As some would say, the fucket bucket. That's bent out of shape as hell. Yeah, luckily most of this is still pretty well organized. Because I did just reorganize the shop. I don't even know, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago. Time flies when you're blacksmithing and working. I can go in the random scrap bucket. Actually, no, that was meant to be with you. Put that with you, project bucket. That's trash, that can go in the bin. That's all good. This is all good. Tongs. Flat jaws over flat jaws. Flat jaws. And those can stay together. You can go with these guys. You can go with those guys. You can actually come down here with these guys. Actually, we'll keep these over here because those work well for a lot of stuff we do with over here stuff. Okay, that leaves that open. I don't like that. Put the bigger flat jaws there. The smaller flat jaws over there. Okay. Then we can put the nips. The smaller flat jaws. Yeah, that'll work better. Let's see. Spring fuller's still good. Does that fit? Oh my god, it does. How does that do? We'll have to remodify you to make you fit in there. Or make a new one for it. Soapstone can go on that side. Rivets and calipers are good there. Makerspace business. No, I do not. Is that a big thing? What is makerspace business? Community shop space. Interesting. How does something like that work? Like guys rent out their space for others to use or something like that? Okay, I think we're done organizing. Awesome. So, we get some time for projects tomorrow. We'll probably work on some tools for the treadle hammer. So if you guys follow me on TikTok, you can kind of see sneak previews of things that are going to come to the YouTube channel. Because with YouTube, I can schedule out long form videos, and I don't really post long form videos on my TikTok ever. I've done it once or twice here and there, but not usually ever, just because it takes forever to upload that kind of stuff on TikTok from my phone. But if you follow me on my TikTok, which is the same name, Hooker's Blades Forge, over on TikTok, as it is over here on YouTube. You'll see a lot of sneak previews of stuff. Like there's a couple of the shorts videos that'll be here on YouTube when the long form videos drop on the making of this treadle hammer, the construction of it from start to finish, all that stuff. A couple of sword builds that aren't up yet. There's short videos on the whole process of those over on TikTok, so that's kind of like a sneak preview of things to come usually. But if you follow me on TikTok and you haven't subscribed on YouTube, you should probably do that, just because I'm at like 4,100 something on TikTok and a little under 4,000 here on YouTube. So yeah, let's make that a thing. Like let's bring some of that over, I guess. Facebook, every once in a while, I remember to share the links to the long form videos when they drop. It's kind of just literally there to have links to the YouTube videos to try and draw traffic from Facebook, because I don't use Facebook for pretty much anything else almost ever. Let's see, what else? Instagram's linked to Facebook for me, but Instagram, usually I rarely post stuff and it's reels, and it's, like I said, when I remember to do it. I'm very busy, so I don't always remember to put stuff on all the different social media platforms or anything like that. But yeah, aside from what you guys saw on the stream today, the new table, the treadle hammer, the new stuff that I picked up at yard sales and whatnot, there's not much new aside from that. Don't know, you just found out about it. Okay. Yeah, I've heard the name Makerspace before, but I never knew what it was. I've never really heard what it is. But yeah, I mean, shop's clean, so I guess I'll go over a couple of projects if people haven't seen them yet. Over on YouTube, well, here on YouTube I should say, I have a video of how I made this critter. Draw knife with burl handles. Great tool to have around the shop. Got a couple videos on this guy, and you're going to be seeing this in a lot of future videos, because it is a great tool to have. If you haven't made one, I would highly recommend making yourself one. This is an oldie but a goodie. Had this guy for a while. It's a falchion that I made, an Italian Folks falchion. Very light sword, very, very good cutter. Very flexy sword, but also very stiff sword. But kind of like leaf twist pattern on the handle for the guards, I should say. The handle's a two-piece wood construction with a leather bolster at the top for comfort. We've got the flail, because every man needs a flail. In my, I believe every man needs a flail, every single one. And if you want to feel like Sauron, what better weapon than the flail? Videos on that on the channel. Got a Viking Raider axe made out of a other axe that I reshaped forged wise, and the $20 mace, which was super easy to make. Just some brass pipe fittings is all it takes. And if you want a butt stump or a little butt cap, you can do a little fitting for that as well. But yeah, little mace. Videos on both of those are on the channel. This is another old one, but there's a video of this guy on the channel. Bed frame rail gladius. Didn't Sauron use a mace? I thought he used a flail. I may be wrong. It may be a mace, but I think it's either a mace or a flail. I'm not sure. I know it's a blunt force instrument of some variety, maybe like a Morning Star kind of critter. But yeah. Old Gladius project. It's got a ridge on one side and a fuller on the other. So I just thought that was kind of cool, because old bed frame rail hardens up really well. So I made a little tactical Raiders Gladius, Fallout style. Videos on that on the channel. Videos on all the bows, obviously. Saw a video from Mystic Mountain Forge, so I kind of imitated his design with my own additions, like these hardened sinew handles, so a little more comfortable punch daggers. There's a video of this on my channel, and the original build video that I saw is on Mystic Mountain Forge's channel, where he does a different style of blade, but the same concept for the handle for the push daggers. Yeah, they're used basically in the same way. They're both momentum-based blunt force weapons. The flail's just better at getting around shields. This was an old Veterans Day tribute that I did. It's a little French nail style trench knife made out of rebar. When desperation calls, I guess, this is one of the things you would make. Nice pointy, choppy, slashy blade. Yeah, a little red leather wrap on that just to make it more comfortable. This is a fun one. This is a little throwing axe that I made out of a carpenter's hammer. It's got two little sharpened bits on it, so it can stick in multiple positions. It's a pretty fun little throwing blade. Made these with made one of these for myself, one for a buddy, and one for another buddy that helped me on build. There's a video of me and two of my buddies building these out of claw hammers and ball peens, little tiny ones. The other stuff's too high for me to grab right now. The other weapons, basically. But crowbar. Little crowbar made out of twisted rebar. Used it for all kinds of stuff. It's a fun little project. There's videos of that on the channel. Little welding hammer made out of a railroad spike and another railroad spike. There's a video of that on the channel. I use this little guy all the time. Little chipping hammer. Some kunai, rebar kunai. Made this on the channel as well. These are fun little throwing knives. Kind of just going through a bunch of stuff that I've made that I have around the shop, in case you guys missed the videos. So if you guys want to see them, you can. Some lathe tools. All of them have little stylized horse heads on them. Different lathe blades. Obviously, as you can tell, if you haven't noticed already, videos on the channel. All kinds of little stuff. There's video coming up on this, which is a little cloak pin with a realistic leaf and a knot tied in the hook latch for your cloak. Yeah, we got all kinds of fun stuff coming up on the channel. Yeah, I think this is where we end the stream for the night, guys, because it is about 10 p.m. for me now, and now that the shop's cleaned up, I'm gonna go shower and I'm gonna go hit the sack. So, yeah, it's brooch. Yeah, basically. But it's been great talking to you guys, especially you, AT. When JIJ was here, I was having fun with that, and I can't remember the name of the other gentleman that we were chit-chatting with a minute ago, but him as well. It's great talking to you guys. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be back with some more videos. So, usual schedule is I upload a video at noon, a long-form video at noon on Friday, and a long-form video at noon on Sunday. There's shorts that go up throughout the week on martial arts and other various things outside of the forge-related stuff, usually throughout the rest of the week. Then we have the first Wednesday of each month is one of the Tekken character analysis videos to see which ones are realistic in combat, combat sports and things like that, versus which ones are just, completely. Alex Anderson is the one I did recently, and oh my god, he infuriates me. But yeah, there's those. Let's see, who else do we got? What else do we got on here? Yeah, usually we have the regular upload schedule. There's always a forging video on Friday, always a forging video on Sunday at noon. So that's kind of the usual upload time for the main videos.
I've got stuff lined up and scheduled out all the way until August for now, but I'm going to be quickly making that much further scheduled out, just so that way you guys have time in between each video to see everything. For the long forms, that's why I kind of schedule them out, so that way I'm not just dumping content and nobody has time to watch anything. And it also makes it easier for me to manage because it puts me ahead of where the videos are. But it's been great talking to you guys, and that does it for today's video. If you guys like your scene, do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe, all that jazz, all the stuff that you hear all of us YouTubers say, because it actually genuinely does help our channel grow. Especially as guys that are under like 10, 20K, it's really hard for us to gain traction. So when a video takes off or a stream takes off, it's always really good when people hop on. But yeah, good night, man. God bless. I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a great night for everybody out there.